We have been taught to believe that control comes from strength, from force, from winning every battle outside of us. Yet the greatest victories are invisible. They happen in the small sacred space between what happens to you and how you choose to respond. It is in that space that your character is formed, your peace is protected, and your future is shaped. When you learn to stand still in that space, even chaos begins to lose its voice. There will be moments when your heart races, when anger knocks loudly, when fear tries to sit in the driver's seat. In those moments, controlling your mind does not mean denying what you feel. It means listening without surrendering. It means honoring your emotions while refusing to let them write your destiny. A steady mind is not a mind without storms. It is a mind that remembers its strength while the winds are howling. Today is not about becoming unshakable or perfect. It is about remembering that your mind is not your enemy. It is your instrument. And when you learn how to tune it with awareness, courage, and compassion, you will discover that no situation, no matter how heavy, can silence the power of who you truly are. Your mind is your first home. Learn to live in it with courage, not fear. Too often we decorate this home with doubt, with memories that wound us, with voices that were never kind. We replay old moments as if they are permanent residents, forgetting that we have the power to choose what stays and what must leave. Controlling your mind begins with recognizing that you are the caretaker of this inner space. You decide whether it becomes a shelter of strength or a room echoing with worry. Life will test you in ways that feel unfair and untimely. Situations will rise that press against your patience, your faith, your sense of self. In those moments, your mind may rush ahead, predicting loss before it arrives or pain before it is real. But wisdom teaches us to return to the present, to stand firmly where our feet are planted. When you guide your thoughts back to what is real, what is happening now, fear loses its exaggeration and power loosens its grip. Controlling your mind does not mean silencing your emotions. It means allowing them to speak without letting them rule. Anger may knock, sadness may sit quietly, fear may whisper warnings, but none of them are meant to hold the throne. You are allowed to feel deeply and still choose wisely. Strength is found when you acknowledge the feeling, breathe through it, and then decide your next step with clarity rather than impulse. There will be times when the world tries to rush you into reaction. Voices will demand answers, outcomes, explanations. Yet peace often lives in the pause. That pause is not weakness, it is mastery. When you slow your thoughts, you create space for dignity. You begin to respond instead of react, to act from intention instead of injury. In that stillness, you discover that control is not loud, it is steady. Your mind grows stronger with practice, not perfection. Each time you choose patience over panic, hope over despair, understanding over judgment, you are training it. Like a muscle, it remembers what you repeatedly ask of it. You will stumble, and that is human. But every return to awareness is a victory. Every moment you choose not to abandon yourself is a step toward freedom. And finally, remember this. No situation has the right to steal your inner peace unless you give it permission. You carry within you a calm that does not depend on circumstances, a wisdom shaped by survival, and a light refined by struggle. When you learn to guide your mind with compassion and courage, you realize that control is not about dominance. It is about trust. Trust in your ability to stand tall, think clearly, and move forward with grace, no matter what life places in your path. You may not control the storm, but you can choose how your spirit stands in the rain. Life does not ask for permission before it changes its weather. One day the sky is clear, and the next it is heavy with clouds you did not invite. Loss arrives, disappointment follows, uncertainty lingers, and suddenly you are standing in the middle of a downpour, wondering how you got there. Yet the storm itself is not what defines you. What defines you is whether you shrink beneath it or rise with your shoulders squared and your heart awake. Too often we waste our strength fighting the rain, asking why it came, blaming ourselves for not seeing it sooner. But storms are not personal, they are part of the human journey, passing through every life, touching every soul. When you stop resisting what you cannot change, your mind becomes lighter. Acceptance does not mean surrender. It means understanding that your energy is better spent on how you will move forward rather than on what you cannot undo. Standing strong in the rain requires a disciplined mind. Fear will try to convince you that the storm will never end. Doubt will whisper that you are not built for this weather. But you must remember that you have survived other storms before, even when you thought you wouldn't. Your mind learns courage when you remind it of your own history. Every challenge you endured has already proven your resilience, even if you did not recognize it at the time. There is a quiet power in choosing grace under pressure. When the world expects you to break, you breathe. When chaos demands reaction, you choose reflection. This choice is not easy, and it is not instant. It is made moment by moment, thought by thought. A steady mind does not deny pain. It refuses to let pain become its identity. You feel the rain, but you do not let it drown you. Sometimes the storm lasts longer than expected. Days turn into months, and clarity feels distant. In these moments, controlling your mind means holding on to hope without forcing answers. It means trusting that growth is happening even when you cannot see it. Rain nourishes the roots before it ever touches the leaves, and the same is true for your inner strength. When the storm finally softens, and it always does, you will notice something has changed. You will stand taller, speak softer, and understand deeper. You will realize that the storm did not come to destroy you. It came to reveal you. It taught your mind patience, your heart humility, and your spirit endurance. So when the rain falls again, and it will, remember this truth. You are not powerless beneath the sky. You carry within you the ability to choose calm over panic, wisdom over fear, and dignity over despair. The storm may shape the moment, but your mind decides the meaning. And in that decision, you remain unshaken. Discipline of the mind begins the moment you stop arguing with reality and start guiding your response. Life is not obligated to meet your expectations, and the sooner you accept this, the lighter your mind becomes. So much of our suffering is born not from what happens, but from our resistance to it. We replay the moment, wish it were different, demand answers that may never come. In doing so, we trap our thoughts in a loop of frustration. Peace begins when you acknowledge what is without surrendering who you are. Reality does not ask for your approval, but your response is always your responsibility. When something unexpected happens, your first instinct may be denial or anger. That reaction is human. Discipline enters when you pause and ask yourself what this moment requires of you now. Not yesterday, not in some imagined future, but right here. When you guide your response instead of fueling the conflict in your mind, you reclaim your power. You move from victim to participant in your own life. A disciplined mind understands that control is not about force, it is about direction. You cannot command every thought to disappear, but you can choose which ones deserve your attention. When your mind starts arguing with reality, it drains your energy and clouds your judgment. When you redirect that energy toward clarity, you begin to act with intention. You stop wasting strength on what cannot be changed and start investing it in what can be shaped. There is courage in accepting the truth of a situation without bitterness. Acceptance is not weakness, it is wisdom. It allows you to see clearly, to make decisions rooted in understanding rather than emotion. When you stop fighting reality, you open space for growth. Your mind becomes flexible instead of fragile. You learn that strength is not found in insisting life be fair, but in remaining steady when it is not. Guiding your response also means learning to speak kindly to yourself in difficult moments. Your inner voice matters. If it is harsh, your mind becomes tense. If it is compassionate, your mind becomes resilient. Discipline is built when you remind yourself that mistakes are lessons, delays are not denials, and setbacks are not the end of your story. The way you interpret events shapes the way you experience them. There will be moments when reality feels heavy, when acceptance feels like too much to carry. In those moments, discipline means taking the next small step with grace. Breathe, slow your thoughts. Choose calm even when clarity has not yet arrived. Over time, your mind learns that it does not need to panic to survive. It learns patience. It learns trust. When you stop arguing with reality, you stop exhausting your spirit. You begin to move with life instead of against it. And in that movement, you discover a deeper strength, the strength of a mind that knows how to adapt, endure, and rise. That is discipline, not control through resistance, but mastery through understanding. Self mastery is learning that emotions are messages, not commanders. They arrive with information, not instructions. Yet many of us were never taught how to listen without obeying. When anger rises, we let it speak for us. When fear appears, we let it decide for us. When sadness settles in, we believe it defines us. But emotions are temporary messengers, not permanent truths. And understanding this is where control of the mind truly begins. Every emotion carries a signal asking for awareness. Fear may be warning you to slow down. Anger may be pointing to a boundary that was crossed. Sadness may be asking for rest or healing. But when you allow these feelings to take command, they turn from guides into rulers. A mastered mind learns to receive the message, acknowledge it with respect, and then decide what action, if any, is required. You feel fully, but you do not surrender your direction. There is a powerful difference between feeling something and becoming it. You can feel anger without becoming cruel. You can feel fear without becoming frozen. You can feel pain without becoming hopeless. When your mind understands this separation, it regains balance. You stop saying, I am angry, and begin saying, I feel anger. That small shift reminds you that the emotion is passing through you, not living inside you forever. This awareness creates space, and space creates choice. In that space, you are no longer reacting from habit or hurt. You are responding from wisdom. You begin to notice how often emotions try to rush you into decisions you may later regret. Self-mastery teaches you to slow that rush, to breathe before speaking, to pause before acting. That pause is not silence, it is strength gathering itself. Learning this skill takes patience. There will be moments when emotions rise faster than awareness. That does not mean you have failed. It means you are human. Each time you catch yourself mid-reaction and choose a calmer path, you are building trust with your own mind. Over time, your emotions learn that they will be heard without needing to shout. They soften when they know they are safe. A mind that listens instead of panics becomes resilient. It no longer fears strong emotions because it knows how to hold them. You stop running from discomfort and start learning from it. You discover that calm is not the absence of feeling, but the ability to carry feeling without losing yourself. This is where inner confidence is born, not from control over life, but from understanding yourself. When you master this truth, situations lose their power to shake you. You remain grounded even when emotions surge. You honor what you feel while standing firm in who you are. And in that balance, you gain something rare and beautiful, a mind that listens with compassion, decides with clarity, and moves forward with grace no matter what the moment brings. A calm mind is not born from silence, but from self-trust built through struggle. Many believe peace arrives only when life grows quiet, when problems disappear and everything finally makes sense. But real calm is not fragile like that. It is not dependent on perfect conditions. It is forged in moments when noise surrounds you, when uncertainty presses close, and you choose to trust yourself anyway. That trust becomes an anchor, holding you steady when the world refuses to slow down. Struggle has a way of introducing you to parts of yourself you never planned to meet. It stretches you, questions you, and sometimes exhausts you. Yet within that exhaustion, something powerful is formed. Each time you face difficulty and survive it, your mind learns a deeper truth. You are capable. Even when answers are unclear, even when outcomes are uncertain, you have navigated before and you can navigate again. Calm grows not from ease, but from memory, the memory of endurance. When chaos arrives, the mind often searches outside for reassurance. It looks for approval, certainty, or control. But a calm mind turns inward. It remembers the promises you kept to yourself when no one was watching. It remembers the nights you endured, the tears you wiped away, the decisions you made with trembling hands and steady hearts. Self-trust is built quietly through consistency, not confidence. And once it is built, it speaks louder than fear. There will be moments when doubt questions your ability to remain calm. Old habits may resurface, urging panic, rushing you into reaction. In those moments, calm is a choice you make repeatedly. It is choosing to breathe instead of breaking, to pause instead of collapsing into worry. This choice does not erase the struggle, it honors it. It says, I have been here before, and I did not lose myself then. Silence alone cannot teach you this. You learn calm when life tests your values and you stand by them. You learn it when mistakes are made and forgiven, when plans fall apart and are rebuilt. With each challenge, your mind gains evidence that it does not need to panic to survive. Trust replaces urgency. Patience replaces fear. Gradually, calm becomes your natural response, not because life is gentle, but because you are grounded. A calm mind carries humility. It knows it does not have all the answers, and it is no longer threatened by that fact. It understands that clarity often arrives after endurance, not before. This acceptance softens the mind. It loosens the need to control everything and strengthens the ability to adapt. Calm is no longer an effort, it becomes a state of understanding. In the end, calm is not something you wait for, it is something you build, brick by brick, moment by moment, through every struggle that refused to defeat you. When you trust yourself, even storms lose their power, and that is the calm no situation can take away.